lectures now? And have you all sat there straight to yet? How'd it go? Yeah, don't worry about it. It's done. You've got it all to look forward to. This just a little intro from me, basically telling us what we're trying to do, and a bit about the Mokoski, which we have actually managed to get a date for, and how that's going to work. Unfortunately, we've not been able to get video conferencing for anybody that's in District Generals. I'm presuming you're all from Leeds, given the fact that you're back so quickly. The only problem with it is that for the audio from these slideshows to actually go onto the PowerPoint well enough, somebody needs to be speaking into the microphone like this. So if they're not speaking into the microphone like this, it's your job to tell them. I'm going to tell them as well, but I'm sure some will forget, and I'm sure I might even forget during the course of this little slideshow thing. But it's just to ensure that all your colleagues that are getting it off the internet will have good audio, and it's the best way of doing it. Unfortunately, none of you may have seen the videos from last year, but they were poor quality, and the audio was pretty rubbish on them. This should work a bit better. We'll obviously have a look at this one once it's gone up and see how well that works. And if you feedback anything that you think we can do better, just let us know. So, SJT's out of the way, you're all back. Do you all actually start on placements today or next week? Next week, fine. These are up every Tuesday. I'm just going to introduce the committee that are going through things again, and a little bit about where you can find information as it becomes available. So we'll just get cracking. So that's the pictures of all of us. Vic, you can see here, is giving a lecture on renal failure. And a few of us, Becky, Amy, you're probably already know. Tara has actually just joined up a different medical school, so you won't know him. But he's just basically making sure that everything gets put onto the website. So if you have any queries, get in touch with him. You should be able to find our email addresses up on the Countdown to Finals website, but we'll come back to that in a bit. A few more of the team, some of them you may recognise, because I think they were in your, some of them were in your year as you were coming through that didn't intercalate. And Elliot, who's just walked down and sat by the front, will be doing a few lectures a bit later on as well. So that's all of us. If you've got any questions, there's going to be a blog on the website as well, and we'll also be willing to answer emails and things like that. Just give us a bit of time to get back to you. Most of us are all working, and it's just if you give us a deadline for the next day, you're probably not going to get an answer. But if you give us 3 or 4, you might. So basically to prepare for work as a foundation year 1 doctor, it's not far away. I think I figured it out as being about 8 months until you'll start in August, which when you put it like that is nothing. It's really good fun, you'll be fine, and in light of making you a good F1, it'll prepare you better for your examinations. A lot of the people that are giving the presentations are actually graduates of Leeds, so they're pretty clued up with what's going on, and the ones that are giving lectures that aren't from Leeds have had enough guidance from the rest of the team about what they need to include in the lectures and the curriculum and stuff, so it should fit with what you're getting in your exams quite well. So, how are we going to achieve this? I know you've met us at 6 o'clock this evening, and that was basically as a result of the website still having last year's time on. It's going to be at 6:30, and that's going to start on Thursday. It says tonight, it may run over, it may run less, it just depends on the lecturer's length of presentations, but we will be starting at 6:30. That just gives more of us a chance to get here. I had to leave work early today to make sure I was going to get here for 6, and I won't be able to do that every week. So it's going to be at 6:30 every Tuesday and Thursday. There'll be a lecture on something. The lecture schedule that's online will change because people have work commitments. If they get tied up in work, we have to swap last minute. We will swap last minute so that we can get a lecture to you, but it might not be the one you're expecting. Can't do anything about that, unfortunately. You just have to bear with us. But that's the plan. We're going to aim and try and give you all the theory lectures on a Tuesday, so that'll be today, focusing on the core curriculum and your ACT conditions, which you need to know inside out for both your theory exams, your multiple choice, and your lectures. And that's basically just the common things that you're going to get tested on. And then on Thursday, we're going to focus on your OSCE sort of stuff, explaining stations, paperwork, all the things that you're going to get tested on in your exams, and also basically prioritising, looking at summarising findings, creating a differential diagnosis, and coming up with a management plan, because that's probably the one thing that's the most different from third and fourth year up to fifth year. And so we're going to focus on that. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do clinical skills in lectures for obvious reasons, but we hope that you'll get enough experience from your clinical skill educators whilst you're still at uni and just practicing on placements. So, like I said earlier, we've managed to get our mock OSCE. The date will be Saturday the 29th of March. There's going to be limited places. We still don't know how many we're going to be able to accommodate, and we still don't know how many circuits we're going to be actually running. There's going to, I think you've just been given a feedback. Is that for? On Thursday, you'll be receiving a bit of a questionnaire with regards to the mock OSCE, asking you a few questions about how you would want us to run it. And that's basically focusing on whether you would want to go around as an individual, practicing it in as OSCE-like scenario as possible, or in pairs, or in threes, etc. The advantage of going around as an individual is that it will be more like an OSCE experience. You'll get the pressure, you won't have anyone to look to hold your hand. Disadvantage is there'll be far fewer places. So it's not, although as an individual you probably want the practice individually yourself, but that will cut numbers down. So if we're doing 10 stations, and we're probably thinking that we might be able to get 3 circuits, if we're doing individuals, we're only going to get a maximum of 30 people, which if your year group is anything like the size of our year group, is going to be a fifth, if that. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that at the moment, so we're going to put it to you guys on Thursday, and it'll be up to you. Whichever one gets the most interest is probably the one we'll go for. You'll get feedback. We'll also then provide generalised feedback that will go up on the website, so anyone that wasn't lucky enough to get a position will still be able to get something from it, hopefully. There's also a potential, if we do get enough interest, which I'm sure there's no doubt about, that we could get another day, but we can't promise that yet. That just requires us liaising with the medical school, finding another date, and also finding the junior doctors that can use the Saturdays to give it you and run the stations. So that's all still in there, but there definitely will be one. The questionnaire, like I said, will be on Thursday, so if you're interested in getting involved, stick the information down for us. It's likely to be a first come first served basis, and the information will probably go out through the Facebook page, but we'll come to that a bit later on. So first things first, the website. It's www.countdowntofinals.com. You'll have to click through and make sure you go onto the Leeds link. There's now Countdown to Finals run at a few places across the country, including Birmingham. They're trying to set up one in Hull in York and another one in London. They're kind of hitting off this year, so they're not really sure what's going to change with the website. Things with the website is it will be slower than Facebook for obvious reasons. We've got to wait to get it uploaded, and we're not doing that directly. We've got to pass it through a third party who's kind of coordinating the whole thing. So don't expect things to be up there to be instantaneous. The lecture schedule is already up there, but like I said, that is going to change depending on who's giving the presentations last minute and things like that. And it's changing the website is kind of second to making sure we've got somebody to actually give you a presentation. You can also find the OSCE details on there as well. There'll be a blog set up for closer to exams. If you've got any questions relating to any of the papers, to any of the presentations, you'll be able to ask them there, and we'll get back to you. Like I said, again, they'll get back to you, but the longer you give them, the more chance you've got of getting an answer. It's a good resource. There's points in a few directions. Everything will be going on the website, so that's including the presentations, any handouts. We'll try and get paperwork up there, because with Leeds Teaching Hospital releasing certain papers, so we might have blank bits out, but we'll try and get all the resources that we actually use during the presentations to be uploaded onto there, so that you can use them for your own use and revision. The Facebook group. So if you haven't liked it yet, like it. It means you'll get the instant updates and all of the comments going through. This will be where we have changes in times. There won't be a change in venue, but there may well be cancellations. So this is where they'll get put up. And we'll also start advertising the mock OSCE through here, and it'll basically probably be a comment, and you just have to write your name in it to get the place, and it'll be the top however many that gets the place. We'll try and do it at a convenient time so that there's people that aren't in placement, or there's people that aren't away or in sleep, but we can't promise. Some people are going to be unhappy. That's just the way it works, I'm afraid. Go on. Yeah, we can probably send out a simultaneous email. That shouldn't be a problem. I can't promise they'll be simultaneous, but we'll send them both out. So that basically concludes the little introduction. If you've got any quick questions or anything about the logistics of it, I'll be able to take any questions from you now. Yeah. So yes, just for the audio, we can't actually do the conference calls, unfortunately, because of Leeds Teaching Hospital's firewall. They won't let us. To do a conference call, you need to download a bit of software that links the computers, and Leeds Teaching Hospitals won't let us do that. They're actually looking into it at the moment, so if we're really lucky, we might catch it to the end of the lectures and things, but I wouldn't promise you that. So what's going to happen is the audio will be saved onto the PowerPoint, as I'm doing now, as long as they speak through the microphone. That will then get saved as a whole PowerPoint presentation, and the PowerPoint presentation will get uploaded onto the website. We're also looking at uploading it onto YouTube as well as a possibility. I think there is a YouTube channel from last year, but that wasn't known to quite a lot of students, certainly not me, last year, and a few of the others. But that should mean that you can play back the presentation and the audio should work. We have trialled on it and it has worked, but we've not done it with Countdown to Finals, so fingers crossed, it should be fine. Any other questions? Brilliant, we'll get cracking then.